Well, it's Youth Month and we're celebrating it in the best way that we know how to as we put the spotlight on the future of the beautiful game. A very good evening to you and yours and welcome to it. It's Football on 216. My name is Itumeleng Khosikadia, and as they say in the world of football, they say, boots on, lace them up, and let's play. But you know, I never play alone, always play with my favorite people in the world. I like to call them the big boys, yeah? And today I really have the big boys. We substituted one out, and you know, super subs never disappoint. Instant impact. Koskarinho. Welcome to the starting 11.
Thank you so much. It's been coming, eh?
It's been hard work pays off.
Exactly. I've been training so hard, so at least the coach has seen my training, yeah.
You really have.
100%.
And we have the regulars that you certainly do know. Sifiso kuhle konke msimango mhlokolozi sawubona.
Imani manithi ucoach usebenza kanzima kusho ukuthi loba msabhile ubesenze njani? Besethi lo senimfaka manje ezisaphi sombona ukuthi enze
uyajima sawoma out.
Sawoma. Ni credit wamethu. Awe.
You guy.
Lalela ke mfethu sikhuluma ngani angafuna ungena lapha engena khona ngifuna ukubonisa enye drip engishayile
Alrighty.
but angafuna ungena lapha
It's ngibulise kuqala ke.
ngibonisa qala ngifuna bonke beqale bese ngishaya ngibonisa drip ukuthi ngenza kanjani.
Alrighty. Siso Kuhle has got a surprise as to how he does his drip check because you know that our drip is proudly sponsored by a retail partner that we certainly love. Last but not least, we haven't done Akomawe, so we still claim him as one of our own, but very soon he probably won't be because you're part of production already.
I
mean,
ngitse ka go gasa fula malanga se ngishaya camera kwatile no ke kwatile no shapa camera ntse ke na le zedi ke checka le di replays mo le so hey
you must watch out.
That one le injury mo le tsikenu
Someone at trepa polo though.
Ntsala ke khwela dina ha mo maoto mo gone mo le lemi.
Okay, I know. Ricky tsenye mo maoto.
Man, and these are the people that I certainly get to play with, and we want to play with you, but also have a conversation with you. So you want to hop onto all social media platforms and use that hashtag. It's hashtag football on 216. That's everywhere. Share your thoughts, share your favorite moments, and if there's anything that you want to ask, I will certainly throw it to the panel. Now, as you can see, what does that mean? How much is it? We're dropping week in, week out. You want to see the boys back in uniform? Edgars, which is a retail partner that we have, our fashion partner, who's for the fans and also for the family, kits us out every single week. We went on a shopping spree that was amazing, gents. And I must say, over the past 3 weeks, I've been back. The social media following's probably gone up.
I've got 2 million extras, eh?
That's so. So you said you have a specific way that you want to do your drip check.
Yazini ne abalinda abantu zabanikeza
No, Ian's.
So into simple for job uyibona le abantu bayibonile last week
Yes.
but ngifuna ukubabonisa ukuthi
Versatility.
bengishaya nejini yabo la majini lawa nje bheka bo namhlanje drip
Drip. Color of the season.
buka le skip
You've got.
maybe mfethu yazi ukuthi laphana asichome ngokuthi imali phezulu because affordable iphansi yabo abangigqoka kanjeni less than 1,000 cabanga ngimuhle kanje
mfethu
Umuhle kanje. Well, having been founded in the year 1962, here we are many years later. It was Edgars who had the idea, founded Edgars stores, and ever since then, we've been shopping until we drop. Not just in getting fashion, we're also getting footwear, and also not forgetting those beauty products that get us transforming our faces. We want to give you an insight as to what we did when we went out to Sandton City Mall. The staff was friendly, but don't hear it from us. See for yourself. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Itumeleng Khosikadia, but as always, never alone, always rolling squad deep with my friends from Football on 216. Now, you know on Mondays, right? They are always in uniform, and I'm always kitted out. So our friends at Edgars were just like, Itu, you need to share the spotlight. So we're here to go on a shopping spree to restyle our style. So come along, let's have some shopping, and let's see as to what style Sfiso has, what style Orapeleng has, what style Koska and Lebo have, and you can tell us who has the best style. Let's go. What's up, Ben? Hi, Pinky.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? Sorry, I'm not hungry.
No problem.
Are you doing shopping?
We're doing shopping for you.
I already see things that catch my eye. That brown jacket up there.
Yes, we can match it with a lot of things.
I love it.
Salad up, down.
I love it. I love it. So what section is this? What do we find here?
This is free to view.
Okay.
Your more or less funky side.
Okay, so this would be more me.
Yes.
Streetwear, hoodies, graphic tees, everything. Okay. Ooh, she cute.
I love this. I love this.
Right.
You can style it in different ways.
I
Shorts,
like it.
wide leg,
Yeah.
the one that you're wearing. And throw something inside. A
It
black
is so
bodysuit.
cute. I also just love the quality of the wool.
My recommendation will be something like this and something like this because you can wear with different outfits.
Yeah.
You can change with different tops, different jackets, and you can also use them as like semi-formal, casual.
Smart casual.
Yes, yes,
Boss,
yes, yes,
I trust you. I see you looking nice, so you know what? I trust you, my friend.
So what size are you?
Ish, man, you want me to say my size?
What size are
32 will fit me nice.
32.
Yeah.
Okay, let me, this one and this one.
Yeah, I think that color will be top, eh?
I'm about to look good. I'm about to look good. Okay.
What do you think of this? This is a black D66 sweater. It's made from mostly cotton, if you like to try something like this.
Okay.
It's available in two colors. We have a stone color and we also have this color that I'm holding right now.
Just at the buttons for me, man. Don't you have maybe something with a zipper or something that's
I have the right item for you.
And so we came, we saw, we picked, and we certainly shopped until we dropped. If you want to find out what's inside these bags, you want to make sure that you watch us on Football on 216. This will be on Monday at 8 p.m. Makenge, masambeni, we're done. Well, it's retail therapy at its best, certainly brought to you by Edgars, our fashion partners. Thank you so much for welcoming us into your home and for making us look good week in, week out. The gents absolutely loved it. I must say, I didn't know you guys really liked shopping. I literally thought I was going to be the only one who was like a kid inside a candy store. You guys are actually shook as to how quick it was for me.
Yeah, nre maketse because wa gopola bana kgetsi ka re fetsa rona ra o itse ke go tla itumeleng no yana.
Yeah.
So ra me itse re motho mo sadi wa meeting tsala ke na le go tsamaya ke re 2 hours o batla jacket eno. So mara ke bona no tsona 1 2 3 so go bontsha gore treatment e ya mogetseng go Edgars tsala ke ya mama go godimo thata.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Mara, go be fast it.
Yes.
When you're fast, compared to Musalu Miti,
no, that's why.
Why?
It's because we eat to share how to know late. So when I start pinda be fast,
I think maybe what made it fast for you is the staff.
Yeah,
Yes.
The staff was perfect.
Like Level says, yeah.
No, they were
And you
so
know what?
friendly.
Here's another thing, right? Because we are the gift that keeps on giving. We want you at home, get on your school uniform, and we want you to experience the friendly staff at any Edgars that is close to you. As you know, that Father's Day is coming up. It will be on the 15th of June. So from the 11th to the 15th, pop into any Edgars schools that is close to you in your school uniform. And we have 5,000 T-shirts that you can pick from. We have 2.5 that are in black, 2.5 that are in white, and you can pick one to gift your father or someone who's your loved one.
Get
Get them in the school uniform. Yeah.
So itungbuza umuntu ongazi kwi-Edgars leya sentini noma kuwona wonke la South Africa.
Any Edgars.
Okay.
You go to any Edgars as long as you're wearing your school uniform. Get there, ask the staff, as we said, that the staff is very friendly. They will direct you to the T-shirts that you can get for absolutely free. And you can go on and gift your father on the 15th of June. How about that?
It's good to be a father in this time of the year.
Right?
It's good.
Yeah.
No, I'm getting all my kids in uniform.
Yeah.
So all T-shirts are coming.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you want to make sure that you hurry down while stocks last. T's and C's apply. So please don't miss out and don't be crying to us. Don't say that we didn't tell you, because we absolutely did plug you. But as you know, we put the spotlight on the beautiful game. It's time for us to turn our attention and talk all things football. This weekend was a host of football, international football, local football. We also had our own national team playing, but also let's not forget that we also had the Gauteng Development League, and not forgetting the Via Cup that took place courtesy of VW. Let's just talk about that. Lunga Novela coming out victorious within that competition. A new group of under 13 players that we were seeing for the very first time. But here he is. He's gotten them to gel together and their first piece of silverware.
Yeah, mabheka mfethu ulungu uhlalesha ukuthi yena akanendaba ukuthi as long as usebenza neplayer, because yakhumbula ngesikhathi engafuni ukukhuphuka.
Yeah.
Uyasebenza ngalabancane. Simbonile ku School of Excellence. So mawucheck ibhola edlala ku School of Excellence nale edlala lapha no ku Via Cup belintswembu kakhulu. So bekufanele ukuthi anqobe lapha ulunga Nobela. Manda 13. Yabona Manda 13 bengibheke yena, ngibheke no Karabo Mgobhozi. uKarabo Skosana we SuperSport United. But
and the final was SuperSport United and Mamelodi Sundowns.
Ilento engitshela yona ngithi bengibukele phela nami. Ungangibona athi so bengibheke yena no Karabo, coach Karabo, siyamazi ke na Amanda 13 wakhe ukuthi kanjani. And mawubheka lapha lunga Nobela nabafana abancane abasha kunentwana na 11 lapha.
Yeah.
And the conveyor belt keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Those boys, Pella, they are from under 11, and under 11 is coached by Coach Blangwe. Simon Blangwe working alongside Coach Lunga Nobela. So we have to give them props, and the hard work that they put in from these young stars, it's definitely evident.
Yeah. Livs, we're always talking about the Halala Cup, bringing the whole country together, but even competitions like this, giving an opportunity for teams out in, like Amazulu had a team. I didn't even know that Amazulu had development like that.
The more you play, the better you get. So Lunga Nobela, anything you qualify for a tamike. Why and why rata? How tamika? There are many Lunga rata makavana manyakaur. Seleka motaka water tatuelu dimar normal. Kirata babanye because they take instructions, coach. Abaita only. So Bautuaka and Sasibu ambassador. So for me, the more you play, the better you get.
Yeah, certainly. The better that they get. And congratulations to Mamelodi Sundowns' under 13s. Together with Lunga Nobela, we soon yet to find out as to where their reward will be, as you know, that they do get that trip away, where they do get that international experience. But not just to them, congratulations to the females as well. Mamelodi Sundowns yet again. Our superstar Uket was also part of the team. So Aboro Damlaudzi is certainly steering that ship. You got to sit with some of these people in your coaching licenses. 100%. What does it mean when you see them actually achieving feats like these?
Look, Khoshi Khadi, it means the world, I believe, to them, because when I spoke to the lady, and she told me exactly that it's rare for ladies to get opportunities like that.
Yeah.
And when they show it on the field of play that they don't just deserve these, but they work hard for them, it's testament for their hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Mamelodi Sundowns, Kabuyelo, dominating that VW Via Cup that took place this weekend. Turning our attention to where we made a stop this weekend, we were out at Netjurena, the home of Kaiser Chiefs, as Lebza likes to call them, the Pefeni Glamour Boys. It was freezing, it was cold, but let me tell you what kept us warm was the action that we were exposed to on the field of play. It was the under-14s, under-15s, under-17s, as well as the under-19s. 22 goals scored in total. It was Kaiser Chiefs that had the lion's share of the points that were on the day, but Panorama FC at least had a point to say that we came, we saw, and at least our big boys certainly put up a good fight. Koska, this is the first time I've seen you at our games. How is the experience? Welcome to the GDL.
Just around the corner.
Oh, it's a combination.
How was the experience?
No, the experience was fantastic, Khoshigadi. And look, it was around the corner, and I said, you know what, I just need to go grace my presence. And if it hasn't been, it's cut someone. No, but I had to because one of my good colleagues, I thought I would see him with Sidisio, and also
he's
Coach
out in
Boy.
Ireland.
Yeah. So Coach Boy also was there, and he managed to get the 3 points, and the only coach in Panorama to actually do it. So it was good. It was good.
Talking about Coach Tidiso, well, all the best to him. He's currently out in Ireland completing his UEFA A license. Hopefully when he does return, he'll be able to present us with something pristine. But also it gets me thinking, how much longer will he stay within that role? Because maybe he's sniffing elsewhere. But we would love that for him. Let's go to the under-14 encounter. A 5-0 thumping, courtesy, I'd like to call it a tiro spectacle.
Yeah. Mabheka lapha uTiro mfethu le position ade idlala Mohamed Bam just khulumile naye uthi mayengekho uMusimane wenza njani uTiro ubedlala as a striker because siyabazi uTiro udlala kwi-wing but ngoba engekho uMusimane uTiro ade bemdlala striker so kuyabonakala ukuthi ngisho engekho uMusimane so uMusimane noTiro bengancedisana if bangancedisana lapha ngiyakutshela amanye amagoli azoba maningi kabi hayi uTiro lapha bezenzela kodwa nimbonile umkhuthuzi
inganathi saliwa
hayi bafuthu ngiyabona kwenye amanye ama post e Facebook khulunywa ngeGDN omunye abazali ngathi mangicheck waseMpumalanga uthi i216 ubiza ngeinganathi saliwa cause mayibone yena right
Lebs, you're in the commentary gantry for this one.
Khaitsedi ya ka ke utlwela bua ka Saliwa ke morata Saliwa mara first half he was nowhere to be found gona le ka ba jezi number 5 ko Panorama Kai Josephs, remember the name Kai Josephs o ne tefetse gore Saliwa ha bona ka first half na sa bona gale mkhuthuzi mara mi itse gore o botlhale mkhuthuzi a gona gore a tsenele ko pele ka second half akor the only time Kai Josephs a motlogetse Saliwa that's when he managed to score so ya go bontsha gore Kai Joseph ba mo reile ba re le ka bana le kotsi dula mo gene gaitsere ka so Kaiser Chiefs 5-0 ba winile coach Bamji o kotsi there's a secret weapon ba fit Devon Odindal he's a center back
at the back
but now ona tshameka the CDM neng o ka gare ga box wa header was like hey go etsagalang no so coach Mohamed Bamji wa bontsha wena gaitsere ka gore nya wa bapa ai wa bona tiro ai manyana ka tiro fit 3 goals 2 assists ai lalela
Devon Odendal Tashil Rognanan ibhola labo liyafana ubheke because now usedlala as la phakathi akasisi center back.
But don't you think that's how Kaiser Chiefs grooms their players to be multi-positional,
yes,
multifunctional?
Yes, coach.
Because a lot of them are multi-positional. And I saw an interesting boy who was playing left center back in the under-17s. Very interesting boy. He would have progressive runs from the defensive third until the attacking third. He even took a shot. So doesn't it say something about their structure?
Yeah, it certainly does. I think it also just gets me to understand the philosophy of women's football, and I think that's how development football should be, right? Where you get them to, it's development, move them around and get them to play everywhere, and get yourself to find out where their strengths are.
No, 100%.
Sake saba no Ndate Godfrey kwamanye ama shows wethu la ku football on 216 simbuza ngebhola ngambuza mina ukuthi uTumisho Manamela SuperSport njalo bengadlala ya position wathi ku development akekho umuntu one position because it's sack developer so thi when usudlala defender njalo usiyoza ugugu udlala defender kanti ngelinkana lokho bapush lento esibona yenza
I mean sorry coach Malachi Royce utsameka ka
ayo udlala everywhere
Malachi utsameka right back nini center back nini umupili mulini wa striker So we bua nnete ntate Godfrey a hona position mo diva a ke ra go godisang go
Yeah.
re batla go bona strength sa o se ko kae sente. So for me ha ke bona ba tshamiki so ke a itumela because wa itse ro tsana gotle if gona le injury kae ka ba gona go slaughter
100%. I was even talking about Tashil with you. Tashil started as a front man, and he ended up the game as a left back. But with the structure of Kaiser Chiefs, they played a 4-2-4 that is so dynamic. So everyone would move around, and if you are an opposition player, you could have picked one player who shifted you off position.
Yeah.
When you shift off position, obviously the space that you are creating is going to be exploited.
And we talk about it being development, right? I want us to move to the under-15 encounter. This is where they managed to secure that 6-0 victory. One thing, though, that really made me happy in this one, Jimmy Jumbo did say that they will be ruthless in front of goal, but Ace, number 11, we know that Ace has been one who has a knack for going for a goal, but he has never been able to convert. What we're seeing lately is he's finding the back of the net, which is telling me that there's individual practice that's going into these kids.
Ucheke ukudlala kwa Ace no Thiemo Musana bayazana from ngisho na national team ku schools that behambe bonke. So u-Ace manje usiyakwazi ukora, usiyakwazi. U-Ace besazi ukuthi angithi lento engayibuza ku coach JJ kade ethanda ukumdlalisa kakhulu esayidini. Mawubheka manje uselapha phambi kwamabhana. So obvious uzokora. Yakhumbula angazi babedlala ukuthi namhlanje akadlala esayidini. Kade bethanda umdlalisa kakhulu esayidini. So yena ube yi-typical winger leyo ukuthi esayidini ngifaka ama-cross kuphela. Ngifaka ama-cross kuphela. Manje akusisi ama-cross. Shine it.
And these are relationships. Remember, in the football field, if you have relationships, then your job is done as a coach because they work seamlessly. Immediately once you have a winger that's playing alongside a midfielder, hypothetically speaking, you get a ball from the right wing collected in the central zones. He already knows where his friend is running to. So it's just telepathic. And when you have that in the field of play, your players are flourishing.
Just happy when I coach continuity. Basamika basamika ko under 15, basamika ko under 13 go se gae. Men mosana tsamikile ko under 13 ke bua ka ene le Ace tsamikile. Caleb Kruger ke mono ko under 13 ko under 15 wena so ya go bontsha botshemo mosana.
I know we've been seeing Caleb Kruger for a very long time. I was actually like, how old is Caleb?
Caleb mo monyane wena khetsera ga so ga itumeletse go mona wa gola mo rolong ya ba monang yona. Under 13 o tsamikile, under 15 wa tsameka so continuity ke yone dira gore Chiefs e tswele pele go aga bona ka mogo bona wena nno ile khetsera motho bona. Pick a spot, coach.
And when you are ruthless in front of goal, you are guaranteed 3 points.
And those are people like Thiemo Musana.
100%.
Don't leave him open.
No, you are guaranteed 3 points. And when you score goals like these, Pella, remember, Panorama is not just a walkover.
No, it's not.
They have good players. They have solid players. But lapse of concentration there and the quality of Kaiser Chiefs, they just couldn't complete.
I also just wanted to talk about his positioning in that one, coach, if you could take us through it. Obviously, he tries to take the shot at first. He doesn't get it. And then Panorama gets the ball, but then he's back into position and he eventually finishes off the ball.
Look, it has to, like, it's an instinctive thing that strikers have to possess. You lose the ball, you have to quickly win it. And with Kaiser Chiefs, we know that they are a high-pressing team. When they lose the ball, they always want to find themselves on the ball. So the boy, immediately when he lost the ball, he regained position quickly and then dropped the shoulder, took a shot. Goal.
Yeah, that was the under-15 encounter. It ended over there. And then it was the under-17s where finally we saw the deadlock being broken. This at least for Panorama as far as their goals were coming in. Their first one came in and possibly many people were like, maybe we would see more goals from Panorama within this game.
Oh, what a throw-in. What a good defender. What a good defender. Yeah, what a throw-in. And from this throw-in, Panorama had, they had 5 box entries, actually attacking third entries, and Kaiser Chiefs had more than 10. So with this throw-in, it gave them the edge to get into the game.
Maranung sorry, defense e kae mo le bana coach because gore bolo we dumelle e tsoko matsogong a motho ntsala e bounce mo gare ga nyene defense e kae kana
I didn't think they thought he was going to throw it that long.
Remember, it's instinct, and when you want it more, anything that happens, it happens closer to you. How Ronaldo scored yesterday, we did not see that coming. So exactly how they scored, he just went to the ball and bang.
Kunalento engijwayele ukisho iduna last week ngishilo. So khumbula Elspark ama-tags. Igoli Elspark lokuqala lingene from Underman. 17 under 19 lento engisho ngedevelopment ukuthi kuyabonakala idevelopment basesebancane kusadevelop kuyabonakala laba sekhonto ezama ukuhlangana that's why naqala under 17 espark yiwaqale lapho ukushaya igoli from under 14 siqale under 14 15 bengena next under 17 lento ebonakala kunomdlalo jersey number 11 bambiza ngoRhabo Tsoke
Panorama.
Panorama Rhabo Tsoke ngimazi edlala phambili bathathe bethe umdrop ambuyisele emumva lapha into ade idlala wenze sure ukuthi yamaka amagoli amaningi ngabe angenele lapha khona uNoah Booth khona uMackenzie emuva yabona lawo ama defender lawo wakhumbula amagama Noah Booth Mackenzie lapha emuva kodwa
ngingafaki pressure kodwa Noah Booth has to do well. I got a choice.
I got a choice. No, but speaking about Booth, guys, the boy is very instrumental in the defense. He is very aggressive on the ball. I saw that boy, I was like, this guy is right-footed, and he's left foot. Diagonal pass, spot on, spot on.
Kuna into engibonayo la mhlawumbe quick ngoba sikhuluma opposite defend sengikhulume ngama defend khona into eyenzakala ePanorama ama defend antswembu defend asePanorama.
Okay, tell me about Thiago Khan. But we'll talk.
He took a set piece. We'll talk about Thiago Khan. Let's talk
Khan.
about the fifth goal that came in for Kaiser Chiefs, obviously sealing everything and guaranteeing the victory for them up against Panorama. At this point, I think Panorama was also just like Aksenan.
Kunomaliti laphana ngicabanga ngibiza because ngezulu malete athi maliti
I asked you about him.
Hayi bafowethu phela le pass le ayishaye laphana yes2 yenza igoli qala wa create umzekezeko igoli lamzekezeko Matthew Sinhlelo oqala malete yabuya manje create pass lapha esingise center ungikhumbuza uGamgam amakasa ayafana manje sokuuye oyilawula lapha bese uba uzonde emva kwakhe balokubalandelana kanjalo lokho ekhipha ama pass nje
Malite created he provided an assist for a goal that was disallowed. That was a beautiful goal.
Number 5.
Offside, offside goal.
That goal. Another day, another free kick.
And I wanted to know, actually, this is my question around that free kick that Royals had taken. How is a free kick an offside if it goes straight to the net?
No, look, I think the ref got it wrong there because actually the assistant got it wrong because I also asked him that was there anyone interfering with play, and he admitted that he made a mistake, but it should have stood.
It should have stood.
It should have stood.
Alrighty. And then finally, Panorama finally had their biggest smiles of the day. They celebrated as if they had won the league. It was 3-2 in favor of Panorama. The under-19 encounter. Just quickly, Koska, how did you see that one?
Look, a very fascinating game. First half, a tactical masterclass. Both coaches going for it. High pressing at its best from Panorama. Clipsing and getting everything in and around the box from Kaiser Chiefs. So it was very, very interesting from them to actually high press Kaiser Chiefs like that. It takes a team with bravery to do that because Kaiser Chiefs, they've got good ball players.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. Congratulations to Panorama. And as we say, that something is certainly happening as far as them developing their defenders. Make sure you go absolutely nowhere. When we come back, we're merging two worlds. We bring a goalkeeper of yesteryear and one of the rising stars that we currently have in the Gauteng Development League. You want to make sure that you go absolutely nowhere. Well, welcome back. You're still watching Football on 216, your home of all things development football. And it's that part of the show where we have a conversation bringing you closer to the game. Now, from shot stopper to showstopper, he certainly has the gloves, he's got the grind, and he still has game. You know him from yesteryear, Chipa United, Amazulu. Literally, the list goes on and on and on. A land of pirates, may I also say. But today, he calls himself a broadcaster, and we certainly can't deny it because he's one of our own, right, John? SuperSport, your world of champions, BRIGHTON and MHLONGO. Welcome home.
Thank you so much. Good evening, and good evening to the viewers as well, man. And I must say that you guys doing a fantastic job. I love it.
It's exciting to have you. It's a lot of pressure because BRIGHTON interviews a lot of us, right? So now roles have reversed. But today we want to merge the two worlds. As you know, he's a former goalkeeper, but we have a rising star in CRUZE RHEEDER, who is a goalkeeper for the under-17s at Panorama FC. We saw him out in action yesterday, and boy, oh boy, a lot and many have marked him as one for the future. Hello.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good, thank you. Do you do you also, that was a bit awkward. Do you also look at yourself? Like when you hear people say that you're one for the future, do you look at yourself? Do you feel it?
Yeah, I feel it. I've been going through a process for the past 3 years, been pushing every day, so it's good to see that people are starting to recognize me.
Yeah. Well, I've introduced the two guests, and you possibly are just like, who's the one in the middle? Super sub. The gent said that he jumped to the bench, so I decided let's give him some game time. Yeah, Mr. Kating Katang. Hello, friend.
You know, it's always pleasure to be here. But you know, Super Sub, I'm gonna make things happen. I wanna see if these guys still have it.
If they still have it, let's dive straight into it, right? And obviously, we talk about the world of goalkeeping, and I think the biggest conversation around that specialized position was the fact that as South Africa, we're not producing enough of our own.
Yeah.
Your take, having played that position?
Listen, it's always a very touchy subject, right? And I often say that as South Africans, we are truly blessed in abundance when it comes to talent. However, we produce a lot, but for me, I think the concern is, you know, introducing when it comes to the tough competitiveness of football. So that's where the issue comes in when it comes to me. We develop a lot of goalkeepers. I mean, we have CRUZE, for example. We have, you know, Ethan Garcia. You know, we have players that are doing well. Kruger at Kaiser Chiefs, Cullen. You know, you have Lospa at Cape Town City at the development stage, where whenever you watch these players, you have Zach at SuperSport as well, GDL, who's been performing wonders. Not forgetting to mention your Mazamba at Kaiser Chiefs and Napi as well. These are the players that when you look at, they've come into, you know, the development football, but whenever it's the opportunity for them to be integrated into a competitive football, that's where I think we're finding the gap in terms of making sure that we have to give them the opportunity to shine at the bigger stage.
It's exciting that you're naming all of them, and as a former player yourself, right, I'm just like, you're actually watching and he's in tune with what's happening with the next generation. Let's talk about your love for the position. How did you end up there?
It was when I was young, just always had a love for being a goalkeeper, to be honest. Yeah, just love the feeling, love the nervousness before the game, and yeah.
So you talk about the nervousness of the game. And I just want to give people some context, right? So we were talking over air and we were talking about how then school then is working out for you, and you're currently being homeschooled. Let's just talk about that experience first, because then I think it gives a lot of background in terms of your personality.
Yeah, so I do homeschool at UCT. I work from home most of the time, so I don't really socialize with a lot of people, and that's how I am, yeah.
Yeah. Which is really quite cool, right?
Okay, yeah, I think I'd like to jump in as well
Yeah.
here and ask Brighton. He mentioned something very important that I'm really interested in, because now he mentioned something about bridging the gap. You know, I mean, we have RHEEDER here. We don't know how far his development is going to go. I mean, Brighton, you can advise. You've been where he's been now, you know, starting from grassroots and everything. What is the advice that you can give to the youngsters up and coming who want to see themselves, you know, where you were, or even above where you were?
Yeah, I always emphasize on, and I was fortunate enough to have a chat with CRUZE prior to us going on air, that I always emphasize on the fact that you need to always set boundaries, you know, break the barrier and be better than the person that you used to watch. You know, for example, now for CRUZE, their benchmark should be making sure that they look at what Fletcher Low-Smith did at AFCON and what he is doing currently. I mean, after playing AFCON, he got signed for 3 years at Estoril Praia in Portugal, you know. And you look at his journey. This is a player that was in Cape Town, right? And he didn't get much enough development phase in his career. But then what happened was when his mother took a sabbatical and it was COVID time, that's when they moved abroad. But was he ready? Yes, because mentally, that's the main important thing. With specialized goalkeeping position, you need to be mentally ready for any time, because this is the only position where you get into the field of play, whereby chances of you playing are very minimal. However, you need to be constantly ready. You need to constantly on your toes. But the difficult part of doing that is now you having to cheer on the person that's playing in your position while you're waiting. Because at the end of the day, that's where the defining moment is, you know, while you cheer on. Because most importantly, when you're a goalkeeper, I always say that it's more about being a good person. More than anything else, because you have to keep on clapping. You have to be a team player more than anything else. So with the CRUZE sitting here right now, the advice for me would be that you never stop working, but most importantly, your mental strength is the one that's going to get you over the line. Because you look at a goalkeeper, for example, you concede 6 goals. How do you come back from that?
Yeah.
If you're deep, you're not going to rise again, you know.
You say that, and this weekend was one where we saw Kaiser Chiefs being absolutely ruthless in front of goal. Let's talk about the support then, the support structure that you have and how you then stay motivated. He spoke about being a good person at first, but then forgiving yourself, because I do believe that it's like broadcasting. If I fluff on air, it's just like, okay, you need to pick it up, you need to keep going. You've still got 90 minutes to play.
Yeah, I know it's tough. It's tough conceding a lot of goals. It's not what you want as goalkeepers. It knocks your confidence down, but you have to pick up the team and keep going. Yeah.
But Cruz, I can ask you a question and say, I mean, Brighton has said a lot. What inspires you? I mean, you playing for under 17 now. You ready? I can put it that way. I mean, you've played you went to the schools with Coach SLK. You are ready. The world was watching. So what keeps you going? What's that thing that keeps you driving on?
I would say it's myself, but I think my family for everything that they've done for me. So they just giving me that extra edge, and I'm just putting in the hard work.
I think I want to put someone who's sitting at home and doesn't get to play within the GDL, right, as to how then your training looks like when you're training with the rest of the team. Because as Brighton says, that on the field of play, there's 10 other players. But unfortunately, this is the one position that you are standing in between the sticks alone.
Yeah, no, the training is different. So usually when we get to Panorama, I usually have a goalkeeper training. Then after that, I will join the team, do a little bit of gameplay, then keep going and then push for the weekend.
He talks about that, right? And then I want to take you back to your days. The development and how the game has changed, basically. What training used to look like for you and what you hear and what you've seen as to how we're training our goalkeepers today.
I think at a young age, when you start finding your feet within, development football, it's more about the, perfecting the craft in terms of your technical ability more than anything else. And now the tactical side of things only comes in when you do group training. However, as a goalkeeper, the main important thing is to focus on the technical aspect of things. And then by the time you get to the age of 15, because also while you're working on the technical aspect, what also helps is playing, youth competitive competitions, because that not only prepares you technically, but also prepare you when it comes to competitiveness. So when you go to, the bigger stage, every time, whenever you graduate to the next age, when you go to the under 20s, under 17s, and when you go to the first team as well. So what has helped us back then was that we had a lot of, youth competitions like your Engine Knockout Challenge. Those are the tournaments that really helped us. But not only that, there was a number of tournaments that were allowing kids, to be kids. And then there were tournaments that were allowing you to be on a competitive edge, pushing you to go further within your career. So when you get to the training part of things, I mean, he can tell you that as a goalkeeper, the hard work.
It sounds so lonely. It sounds so lonely.
Think about it this way. I'm going to give you a simple narrative. A striker can make a mistake. There's a midfielder. Midfielder makes a mistake. There's a defender. Defender makes a mistake. There's a goalkeeper.
It's like dominoes.
Right. Yeah, but now from the goalkeeping part of things, if you make a mistake, it's the back of the net, and you're the only one who has to pick yourself up. But the only thing that matters to you is the work application, the work ethic that you put in at training. That's where it matters the most, because half the time, the saves that you make at training, in the game, you're probably going to make 2 or 3 of those scenarios. Those are the ones that are going to come into your case within the game. But other than that, at training, that's where you have to do a repetition of distribution. It has to be accurate. You need to be precise. That's why I say you focus more on perfecting the technical side of things more than the tactical side of things.
Yeah.
And also talking about coaching Brighton, I'm going to ask this question to say...
I'm not a coach, don't worry.
Brighton might just be doing a coaching license for all we know.
in terms of goalkeeper coaching, I mean, I'm going to bring it back to GDL because that's what I'm exposed to day in, day out.
Sure.
We had good teams like Kaiser, Porto, they were relegated. But now we see most of the GDL teams, they invested in having a former player as a goalkeeper coach. Talking about Shoaib Boltas, who was at Randbeck, we saw the training was very evident to say, these boys from Randbeck, they were trained by a former goalkeeper.
Sure.
We saw Virgil Frisch is doing it. But then, again, would you say having a former goalkeeper, being a goalkeeper coach, does that also plays a big role on having a goalkeeper as good as
No,
Cruz?
100%, 100%. I mean, I often say that you only know as far as you've traveled in life according to age, experience, and maturity. You know, and what a better way to have people who have walked that path, because not only are we looking at the technical aspect, much as I'm emphasizing on it, but most of the time in South African football, we tend to neglect the most fundamental aspect within the development of a player, which is the livelihood of a player, the psychological aspect, the emotional aspect of a player. That's where it comes in. He spoke about conceding a lot of goals, which has a knock-on effect on his confidence. How do you then, as a coach, come in and now emphasize on saying, no, it's okay, forget about that one, there's more games that are coming in? How do you keep him in check when it comes to a game psychologically to say, stay in the game, because once you're deep, you're still going to concede 6 more, it's going to be 12. So now, for example, I, Brighton, went through that. I played against a SuperSport team where it was a tough game, and I didn't expect that in a PSL game I'd concede 6 goals. How did I come back from that? It needed someone who's walked that path with me to say, it happens. It's part of football. What matters the most is how you come back. And I managed to come back and be in the Bafana team that was part of the World Cup qualifiers. But if you are not prepared psychologically, you're not going to make it. So these former players, they already understand the path in terms of saying, okay, I've seen this story before, I've seen this chapter before, and this is how you handle it. If you want to come out of that, take a leaf from my book, you know. And I wish we can also emphasize on that when it comes to all the teams or the administration as a whole, to say, let's employ a whole lot of former players, because already they come with that advantage where they're going to emphasize on things that they've seen before more than anything else, like going to the book. Yes, it's all good sometimes when we go for theory, but you know, the best schooler
Maybe
is practical.
we can have them come for appearances, Brighton. Do you not think?
Yeah, no, it's
as opposed to
also
have
good.
them as like full on, because as you know, we're trying to get football to be fully professional everywhere, which we need people to go through the books.
Yeah, it's also good to do that, but is it enough? Because sometimes I feel like we are shortchanging these kids. You know, we talk about passing on the baton, especially for us, the guys who have walked the path, who have played the game. We need to find the platforms of doing that, and we need to also make sure that how do we do it? Are we doing it in a conducive way that is going to help him? Because times have changed. Remember, there's a difference between tough love. There's a difference between nurturing a player according to how they see the game, you know. And when I look at CRUZE right now, he's maturing very well for his age, a good stature as well physically. You can see that he has the appearance of being a great goalkeeper. And then now, as a goalkeeper coach, and then I look at saying, okay, what do I need to instill more personality in CRUZE? I need a personality where someone who's going to come out and command and be more authoritative, you know? And all of those things, they don't just happen overnight. You don't just open a book and say, our match day squad, I need CRUZE to be like this. These are the things that I need to groom him, take him day by day by assessing him on a daily basis, where I say, okay, now I can see technically he's getting better, but on a livelihood perspective, on a personal perspective, emotionally, psychologically, where is he standing? Then that's where I'm able to help him. So appearance A1, maybe yes, it can do the help. Us coming to football, coming to football 216, definitely. Coming to 216, definitely we can do that.
But I think all the time we're the ones who are imposing questions as to, and we're projecting in a sense as broadcasters, because we think these are the things that people want to know. But CRUZE, you sitting in there, I believe, represents all the goalkeepers within the Gauteng Development League. You currently have access to Brighton. If there's one thing that you would ask him now, or one thing that would be a concern when it comes to development football, even if it's not a concern, or something that you should like to say on behalf of goalkeepers, what would it be?
Let me move back first.
Yeah, because you're not a goalkeeper.
No, I haven't got a goal.
He doesn't have safe hands.
Sometimes I struggle with more the emotional part of the game. Say, for instance, like this weekend when we conceded 5 goals. Sometimes I don't know how to deal with that. I get frustrated and all that. So I just want to know how you would deal with that.
So I think I'd give you a perfect example of, you need to find a role model. And when I talk about role model, you look at goalkeeping. Again, do we go back to issues where you find a young player who's your role model, but they never model their game to the player that's playing their position? You know, you find a goalkeeper saying Cristiano Ronaldo is my favorite player, and I'm thinking, okay, where do we start? Where do we go from here? So I used to watch Julio César a lot, former Brazilian goalkeeper. And the one thing that I loved about him was that he would concede a goal, and immediately after conceding a goal, he doesn't even look at the opposition when they're celebrating or looking at his teammates. He'd go, collect the ball, put it back to the center, really his defenders and say, let's go again, gents, let's go again. Because the difficult part about conceding a goal is that once you dip your head, just know, Cruz, I'm going to tell you now, it's not 5 more is coming, 10 more is coming. You need to pick yourself up. This is the most, that's why we call it a very specialized position. This is the most loneliest position, like you said. You get lonely there. But how do you keep yourself in the game? You always have to speak to yourself every time in the game to say, I am Cruz, I'm the best, I know why I'm here. Yes, they might have scored, but they're not going to get another one again. It's not going to happen again. And when it happens, you say, I'm going to start all over again. I'm going to go back to training. How do I rectify? How do I fix it? If I have to do more extra training and say, coach, there's this cross that really puzzled me. I didn't know whether I was coming or going to. I have to go collect or not. Can we repeat those things? So every time as a goalkeeper, speak to yourself every time. And when you speak to yourself, you speak live to yourself to say, I'm the best, I can be great, and set boundaries every time. If last week you conceded 5, you tell yourself that next game, I'm going to concede 4. The next one, I'm going to concede 3. The next one, you know, that's how you get the confidence, because you don't move from 0 to 100. You gradually build, but the most important thing is building a solid foundation. There's no house that doesn't have a solid foundation. So as a goalkeeper, most importantly, build that personality and speak to yourself every time. You speak live and tell yourself that you are the greatest. You are where you are, not by any default or anything, but by merit, because you are the best that you are.
And he also made it into the national team. I mean, who gets that?
Can I tell you, this conversation really needs to be extended. One thing we need to do, we also need to bring you onto the show as a mentor. But Cruz, we wish you nothing but the best. Congratulations on all. As Brighton did say, that yes, you may have conceded this weekend, but surely it's about what happens next and how you get yourself back up after that defeat, yeah?
Yeah.
And this is Football on 216. As you know, that it's Youth Month, as I said, that we're celebrating it in the best way and the only way that we know how to. His name is Mfanagan Jomani. You probably have not seen him for the last time. He's going to be back because you do know that the Indian Champ of Champs and the Knockout Challenge is coming up. So we need to bring him back. Don't go anywhere. The conversations need to continue. Welcome back. You're still watching SuperSport Schools' Football on 216, also live on SABC+. Be part of the conversation. Use that hashtag, the only one that matters. It's hashtag Football on 216. And if you've missed a pulse of the show, you can catch it on YouTube. We will be uploading directly after this, latest tomorrow. And you can find your favorite moments and share them with those that missed it. Now, as you know, the Gauteng Development League continues to make stops around the country, and it certainly is set to do so this weekend, as we will be out at Clapham, right? It will be a celebration. God of Honor is what you can expect for us, giving the under-13s of Mamelodi Sundowns. Yeah? Don't you think? Guys, I think we should actually...
Because it development.
God of Honor. Sing like C4. So we'll hold hands and they'll walk through. Yes, we'll hold hands and they'll run under. There'll be a ton of
Exactly.
But certainly, this weekend, Mamelodi Sundowns, SuperSport United, Tshwane Derby. This is going to be a big one. Mamelodi Sundowns, obviously, in the under-13s, they're going to want revenge from what happened. This weekend.
Bazobe funa revenge. Karabo Lunga Nobela. Nama coach siyawazi. Nje ngisho kanjalo. Ayiphele yabo. And futhi nokushintshana kwama player laphana nini uyakhumbula la sibona Russell Taim SuperSport Sundowns mbona ku SuperSport. So yabazi badlala i-star esifanayo. Ayiphele yabo. So leyo mdlalo loyo iwe benguhale kakhulu. Ama under 13 from uqala nje. So kuzoba mnandi kakhulu khupha kuya phezulu. And mabheka kuze kuyofika lapha under 19 ama team alandelanayo alapha ku top 3 SuperSport Mamelodi Sundowns.
Raps?
Yeah, no, Lina ke itlo na mtshameko mo ntla thata itu. I think motshameko yo ke enjoying too much ke ganne re le go Lucas Moripe. Ke itse re why SuperSport Bianca o ire mo itsagale. But I think it's going to be a good game. Hape re bua le abua ka under 19. I think motho ke tla be ke mo lebeletse ka leitlholo le ntshotsho. Ke Jimmy. Oh. Yeah, no.
Let's give me an ultimate winner, and which age division are you looking for?
Khaitsedi ya motho ra tshwana rotlhe ke lebeletse coach Karabo
Beginning
ka go the vibe e leng gore ba banyane ba etlisa khaitsedi ntle le pela le sfiso wa itse le wena under 13 batsadi ba atla 15 ba atla go go dimuka ba atla mara ba simula ba tsama so se ke se ratang ka Tshwane Derby always goals
Yeah.
There's always goals galore. So ga ke itse gore coach Karabo tla kgona gore
Yeah.
a iputlitse ka fo coach Nobela because coach Nobela ra mitso ra fasa. So we don't know what to do.
Well, as they say ngesizulu, "Qude maniginigi zindala zombili." We'll wait and see as to how it unfolds this weekend. Gents, I just want to say I appreciate you. I love doing this thing with you. Next week we get to be better. Orapeleng Mkhaki, Sifisa kuhle konke Msimango, as well as Lebakang Mahume. Thank you so much to Koska. Thank you so much to Brighton MHLONGO, as well as CRUZE, RHEEDER. My name is Itimeleng Khosikhadia Khabanda. Baliaba Kholo. Let's meet again next week.